Okay, so let's go through the panel here so you know how to use all these switches. We've gone through some of them already, but this is just going to be able to tell you gray, black, fresh, and battery life. So right now there's nothing in black. It says that the black is got 2/3 full. Sometimes, like I said, paper towels will get onto the sensors. You really want to make sure it's clean as you possibly can so that doesn't happen.
And if you open the toilet up and look down in there with a flashlight, you can see that it's empty.
Yeah, and I would do that because sometimes it will pile up. It's kind of gross, but you want to make sure that it is cleared out. If it's not, there is a charge fee for that because we have to go down to the dump and pay for that.
So, but also if you, with the toilet is looking down inside there, you would want to turn the water pump off.
Yeah.
So that water's not spraying in there.
Yeah.
So you can actually see past the water.
Yeah, the water pump here, it would distort the vision because you can't see all the water pouring down.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's two ways to heat up the hot water heater. There's gas and then there's electric. Electric is way faster. Gas is way faster than electric, but you have the options to do both. So while we're talking about this, the hot water heater, let's go outside and take a look at that real quick and show you maybe something you may need to use out here, but hopefully not. So with this, you open that up, there is a little button here and here. So if you press these valves, if the hot water heater is not working, that might be a problem. So if this gets overheated, there's little switches in here that will pop out and you can reset it just by pushing those in. So that's all good. Another thing you need to make sure is right here is for the electrical switch. So if this is turned off, you're not gonna have electric heat. So that needs to be turned on so that you always have electric heater in here. There is no pilot switch. It automatically lights. It's a very convenient, I think they call it the DSI hot water heater. So anyway, it's a great hot water heater and very common in campers. Okay, so battery will tell you right now 2/3 battery, hadn't been charged up in a little while. Slide out, awning to be extended. This actually works really good. And while we're here, it is super hot and the sun is beating down on us. So I'm gonna go ahead and open up the awning. No, there is a tree right there. Okay, so I'm gonna stop it right before it gets to that tree. But anyway, you wanna keep an eye on that you don't overextend it because as it gets to the end of the flap, it will start to unwind or wind up backwards. And so just when it gets to the
When you see the flap at the end drop down, straight down at 90 degrees, that's when you have it out.
Yeah, you're done. Oh, can I talk about that real quick? Let's go out here. So this does have shocks on it. So what that's for is if rain winds up hitting or collecting on top, there's a breakaway. So this can be tightened up or loosened. But what this breakaway is for is so that if the rain starts piling up, this thing will drop. Yeah, it drops down like this. So you want these to be fairly loose, okay? So if they're too tight, then they're not gonna wind up flexing because of the rain. So if you're in a rainy area or if you know there's gonna be rain, you wanna make sure that these are loose so that that can give away and let all the rain off at the top of the awning. And there's one on both sides.
One thing to be careful about is storing stuff. If you go to a lake or something like that, storing stuff on here and then rolling it in. As you can see here, somebody had some towels up there and now it's got a bow in there. So please pay attention to that.
Yep. Okay, so back to the panel of switches here. So you've got hot water heater, gas and electric. You have the water pump. So if you're not on city water is always going to have around 40 PSI. You will never use this. If you're on city water, if you're boondocking, you'll need to use the pump. And this is...
Let me mention something about the pump.
Yeah.
So if it happens to be a leak, which there's not any in this camper, but if there happens to be a leak and you hear the water pump right down here, if you hear that pump making a grinding sound or pumping sound, zzz, zzz, and it keeps running like every minute or something, that is an indication that there's a leak somewhere. Or if that pump is running non-stop and you're not using water, then there's again another problem with the pump, and if you let it run all night, you're going to burn out the pump.
Yeah, so yeah, I want to keep an eye on that. You can hear it when it comes on. Here, let's turn it on, see if you can hear it. You want to go over there?
There you go.
Almost. Okay, so a couple other things here is to extract the awning. This is interior lights. So this, if you notice it, not all of the lights turn off, but most of them do. And so this one is a courtesy. So as you walk into the coach, you hit this switch and it turns on most of them for you. This one is a porch light, the yellow light outside that's really good at keeping the bugs away. And then this is the light that's an LED strip that goes along the awning, which is really nice. There is a boosted Wi-Fi, so if you're in a place that does have access to Wi-Fi, I've actually never used that. So you click this on and this tells you how to be able to do it. So
I think
anyway,
if you scan that code right there also, it'll take you to a website, this code,
yes,
and
that's true.
tell you more about it.
Yep. Okay, that's it.